Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.
We're cooking up a storm and Halloween is right around the corner. I'll give you a dish here that your little ghosts and goblins will gobble up, and they may even partake in making it. So we have stuffed pepper jack-o'-lanterns. So see what I did here with these orange peppers. I made little jack-o'-lantern faces. I'll show you how I did that, and we're going to, of course, stuff the peppers and add some cheese, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll get some cheese coming out of the eyeballs later on. So kids can have fun, sort of decorating their, not pumpkins, but their peppers. And then maybe they won't want to eat it because, stuffed peppers, some picky kids may not like it. All I have going on for my stuffing and my peppers is a pound of ground beef. I have onions going on here. I'm just grounding the beef, got the onions sweating away. And then I'm going to add to it, I have some spices, nothing too spicy because we want it kid-friendly. A little paprika, oregano, a tablespoon of oregano, but a half a teaspoon of garlic powder and paprika. Of course, if you have a favorite recipe for your stuffed peppers, feel free to use that as well. This is just sort of a simple one right here that you can make pretty easily. This would be a good one for Halloween night. You want something easy to make before the kids go trick-or-treating. This might be a good recipe, and it doesn't take too long. Although growing up when I was a kid, it always used to be hot dogs. I don't know, my parents for some reason always made us hot dogs for Halloween night. That was like the one, you knew we were having hot dogs on Halloween. I think mainly because it was easy to make. But then I was always thirsty from the hot dogs. We got the tomato sauce. Before I forgot to do. I forgot to I have to save some time. I have one of those microwavable rice bags in there. I'm going to start that going. And I'll show you. Of course, you can make rice the old-fashioned way. This is a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce that I'm going to add to the ground beef mixture with our spices and onions. And again, this is going to be the stuffing for our orange jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, so that's what the sauce sort of looks like, and we're going to let that sort of simmer away here. I'll turn this down a little bit. We don't want it to be cooking too high and crazy. We're going to wait for our rice, which should be done any second now. About 30 seconds to be exact. So while that's going on, I could show you a little bit about our jack-o'-lanterns here and how you make this. It's pretty easy. You just get a paring knife or whatever. If the kids are doing this, just be careful because, this is a sharp object. But then again, if they're cutting big old pumpkins, they'll be doing the same thing. But these are a little smaller, so and especially if you're using a sharp knife to cut these, it can be, the dinging. That means the rice is done. So let me get this out of the way so we'll know everything's done over here. Again, this is for a weeknight. And to me, if you're adding like rice to a recipe like stuffed peppers, this is perfectly fine. You don't have to boil water and wait 15 minutes and all that kind of stuff for the rice to cook. This is a lot easier, and if you're adding rice to something, I don't think you're going to be able to taste really the difference between a microwavable bag and a regular old rice. Of course, I think regular old rice would probably taste better if it's by itself, but if you're adding it to something. So that's our mixture. We're just going to let all the flavors sort of marinate in there. I'm going to throw this guy away, and now we're going to get back to our jack-o'-lanterns. So, however you want to make your jack-o'-lantern. You make traditional style. You just get, carve some triangle eyeballs. I did try to make a rounded one, but it's a little difficult with a knife to make a rounded one. And you just start cutting away, make some eyeballs. The original jack-o'-lanterns, in fact, a lot of what we celebrate here in the United States as Halloween originated in Ireland. And what they did is they would decorate, for Halloween, they would actually carve, instead of pumpkins, they carved turnips. And they would carve these like scary faces in the turnips, and that was sort of to ward off the evil spirits, because they thought on October 31st, and this is where a lot of Halloween customs came from. And then it sort of got married with some of the customs of the Catholic Church, like All Saints' Day. But in Ireland, they thought October 31st was the day, but the last day of fall before winter settled in November. October 31st, the end of the fall harvest season and the start of winter. And that they thought on that day there was a thin veil between the spirits. So that's why they had bonfires to actually ward off the spirits and scare them away. And they dressed up to scare away the spirits. And there we go. So that's what he looks like right there. You got your eyes. But that's where a lot of our traditions from Halloween came from Ireland. So they would, again, carve turnips. We carve pumpkins. In this case, we're carving the pepper. And they had bonfires, and they dressed up because they wanted to ward off the evil spirits, because they thought the veil was thin between the deceased, the souls, and the living on October the 31st. So, okay, so that was a little history lesson. So now what we're going to do is we're going to carefully take our mixture that we're going to stuff our peppers with. By the way, while all that's going on, I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our mixture in here, and this is going to go right in our stuffed peppers, like that. Hopefully too much doesn't fall out. You don't want to like really smash it down in there. I know I think some stuffed pepper recipes even call for, like, you can bake it, the raw meat. I tend to like to cook it first instead of the other way. But I just do like that top. And now you do want to add, we're going to add a little bit of cheese to the top of this. You can see how this is going to kind of look cool. It looks like a mini pumpkin, and it's orange, the classic Halloween colors. Orange and black, I guess, are your classic Halloween colors right here. If you wanted to, and what I did, I did cut off the tippy top of this guy, and I got rid of all the guts and the seeds, obviously, beforehand. There we go. Put a little too much in there. Okay. And then I guess if you wanted to, you could save the top and then put it, because you'd have the stem, I guess, at the end. But I got rid of the tops. So there we go. He's ready to go. He just goes in the oven. You got to carefully so they don't fall. This is going to be the tricky part here. Let's see if we're going to fit. Whew, look at that. Just fit. Clearance, clearance, clearance. Barely, barely, barely. Okay. See you in a half an hour.
I was the first in my family to go to college.
I was looking to switch careers.
I wanted the highest quality, but most affordable option for a degree.
No matter where you are in life, West Virginia Northern Community College can make your dream of a college degree a reality. With over half of our students being first-generation college students and free tuition for many programs, Northern is the right choice for you.
I can go to college. West Virginia Northern Community College. You belong here.
Boo! Okay, half an hour passed, and then after a half an hour on 375 with our peppers, I took them out and put on some cheese. Then I threw them back in for another 5 minutes. So let's see the finished product. We're getting them out of the oven right here. Hopefully there's no too many surprises. I don't get scared when I open this up. And that's what it should look like. You get the cheese on top. Ooey gooey. Goodness. Let's see, do we got any coming through the eyeballs? Maybe not so much, but not too bad. Okay, and then you plate it. That's basically it. You got stuffed peppers, but they're a jack-o'-lantern style. I guess the hard part is going to be getting this guy out without it falling apart. There you go. Perfect. Okay. He may have busted a tooth in this one, but you get the idea. So it's a perfect Halloween dish, or maybe you're having some people over. Again, let the kids decorate them. And I always find, at least with my son, when I let him participate in the kitchen, he was more likely to eat something. He was a picky eater, still is actually, but he was more likely to at least try something new if he had his hands in it. So I always like to get the kids to find something that the kids will like to do. And, oh, that's scary. He fell right over. Until next time, happy Halloween. We're cooking up a storm.
Cooking Up a Storm, sponsored by West Virginia Northern Community College Culinary Arts Program.